The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You're listening to Brian Smith, and this is Real Talk Radio on air. It's Monday, November 23rd, and I'm here to bring you an entire hour of music from some of the best artists that we have here at Real Talk Radio and the Real Talk Radio family. This will be a weekly show. Keep posting your music, where I'll pick the very best posts and they'll get played right here. Get involved. If you agree with what we're doing, give it a share. Let's continue to grow as a family. We're kicking things off with a fantastically talented young lady with a song called Someday When I Go. This is Ali McIntosh.
You're so unhappy and I can finally see that this is a goodbye song. I'm not happy, mad or sad, but I'm pensive, wondering what I'm gonna do without you, without you. But then I remind myself someday when I go, you'll be free and happy. One day when I'm gone, you'll be you and I will be me. I'm so restless and I don't think you've ever noticed. I'm getting kinda tired and I'm really damn sick of this. And then I get sad, wondering where I'm gonna go. Gotta say no, say no. 'Cause then I remind myself someday when I go, you'll be free and happy. One day when I'm gone, you'll forget our broken history. Now that I know the storm is drifting slowly away, no. Sometime when I go, you'll be free and happy. One day when I'm gone, you'll be you and I will be me. No. can be you, but I am still me.
What a great song there from someone with an incredible talent. Can you believe she's only 14 years old, guys? What a future this young lady has ahead of her. Going on with the show, 2020 has been quite a year. It's been one we've had to adapt to with the coronavirus pandemic, but also a year of learning. The George Floyd incident gripped the world by storm, and we've seen a wave of very modern and very relevant music, showing us that everyone matters. Listen to this future hit by Mr. Peabody, featuring E.J. Hyde. This is God's Children.
Why can't they see that we're all God's children? Why can't they see that we're all God's kids? What should it matter the color of his skin? Should that really determine whether he dies or lives? Why can't they see that we're all God's children? Why can't they see that we're all God's kids? What should it matter the color of his skin? Should that really determine whether he dies or lives?
For a moment, if you will, forget about my skin and listen to a message that is real. I want you to stare with your heart and not your eyes. 13 years old and they give them babies life. And you ain't God, dog, so what gives you the right? When silence in the cages and we're carried in the caskets. When the ones that swore to protect are killing in the masses. When the badges, the token, they hidden behind masking. When fitting a description leads to ending and existing. When blinking or flinching is classified as resistant. When preconceived notions lead to Glocks that are smoking. Field tests changing colors every time the wind be blowing. How would you feel if you went home to kiss your kids and they were missing? And the ones that did it ain't even in prison. We had to spill blood just to get y'all to listen. And you still don't pay attention.
Why can't they see that we're all God's children? Why can't they see that we're all God's kids? What should it matter the color of his skin? Should that really determine whether he dies or lives? Why can't they see that we're all God's children? Why can't they see that we're all God's kids? What should it matter the color of his skin? Should that really determine whether he dies or lives?
Wrongful convictions, the barbed wire offenses. Shot for a firearm that never existed. Leave of absence, they get in they pension. And this is the penalty for ending existence. Children that shake when you are in their presence. They scream to the skies, but they pray to the heavens. Morals, judgment, it's all forsaken. God, how many more lives must be taken? It takes 20 officers to make an arrest. Rubber bullets face at a peaceful protest. If you're decent, you know it's grotesque. But we rather turn the blind eye than to ever confess. Discrimination's real and we have fewer deaths. When we stand divided, we pose a lesser threat. They shaking hands, taking selfies with the enemy. Did we forget these the same ones killing all our kids? We rather fight with each other than to remember why BLM exists. After all that, people still dying shit. If you ask me, George Floyd, well damn, he deserved better than this.
Why can't they see that we're all God's children? Why can't they see that we're all God's kids? What should it matter the color of his skin? Should that really determine whether he dies or lives? Why can't they see that we're all God's children? Why can't they see that we're all God's kids? What should it matter the color of his skin? Should that really determine whether he dies or lives?
I stand in unity, and hopefully my stance don't lead to my eulogy. And I will not say no apology, because if you bleed blue, then you live by a different policy. With that much power, it's hard to act modestly. When your word outweighs others, it's hard to speak honestly. And honestly, officer, it's so darn hard to breathe with all of y'all on top of me.
Rektuts na sak som svige fies du no snu. Rektuts na saving som svige fies du no snu.
Why can't they see that we're all God's children? Why can't they see that we're all God's kids? What should it matter the color of his skin? Should that really determine whether he dies or lives?
And that song will hit home with a lot of people around the world, so well done to those guys. I believe from all the released songs we've had on the issue, this has a fantastic message. Something which should have commercial status, remaining unbiased without political statement. Now it's time to move on to some of the world news stories from this past week. Current US President Donald Trump is now running out of options, according to reports, as Republican legislators vow to follow the normal process as voting in Michigan allocates their votes for President-elect Joe Biden. The 45th president of the US has been making claims of voter fraud and demanding recounts after claiming foul play in the recent election. Donald Trump Jr. has tested positive for COVID-19. Despite not showing any symptoms, he is currently shielding in his own property and is expected to make a full recovery. Trump Jr. is the second child of the president to test positive after Barron Trump tested positive for the virus last month. A series of explosions took place on Saturday in a Kabul residential area. Tensions appear to be rising higher as this is given before a scheduled US Taliban talk. The investigation is ongoing. Russian special forces have successfully rescued a 7-year-old boy who was abducted in September. A 26-year-old man is being held in custody. The suspected paedophile was thwarted in an attack coordinated by Interpol in the US after flagged dark web activity. And that's your world news for this week. Let's move on with some music. This next song is from a guy I admire quite well. He's partially blind and rightfully calls himself Blind Producer. This song's called Trust, and this is Real Talk Radio.
I trusted anyone to tell me the truth, but it's too hard for me to ask. So I'm gonna explain through this rap. I tried to be honest, but when I tell the truth, I'm on one. Apparently anyway, all the feels in my brain, I put my trust in you. You're not unsure what to do. I've been rejected my whole life by these backs and bitch that hold the knife, and it's no wonder I hold on to these raps like my babies. Just push these bitches away. Just push bitches away. Just push these bitches away. Trust. Push these bitches away. Trust. Push these bitches away. Trust. Push bitches away. Trust. Push bitches away. Trust. Push these bitches away. You saying to be honest, but when I do, I'm a goner. You're only good for gossip. You talking about me, I'm on it. I'll kick back in my cave with my tracks in the pain. All the memories, pass me a drink. You think you know my name? Fucking voice is insane. My life isn't perfect, but I know what I prefer. Paranoid schizophrenia, I am a mess, and everybody thinks you know my life best. Just push these bitches away. Just push bitches away. Just push these bitches away. Trust. Push these bitches away. Trust. Push these bitches away. Trust. Push bitches away. Trust. Push bitches away. Trust.
That right there, ladies and gents, is a great track. Whilst I've never been a fan of auto-tune, or rather too much auto-tune, this track, as Goldilocks would say, is just right. I want to move the conversation along now and talk about subscribe for subscribe. What are your views on it? Tell me below what you think in the comments. Social algorithms show me that sub for sub does not work. It very highly leads to failure and is in no way a technique to promote your music. But still, I want to know what you think, so tell me below. I want to hear your opinions. I'm currently working on some new music myself, so for the next song I'm choosing here on Real Talk On Air, it's going to be my song for my second album, Bite the Hand. It's called I Can't Wait to Say Goodbye.
Every Wednesday morning
I really tried to go back to a British indie sound with that song, and it portrays slightly how my second album will be portrayed in the latter half. I gave myself a year to create the second album, but actually I've nearly finished it in a couple of months. Staying with a British theme now, here's some of the UK news stories from this week. A 49-year-old man has been arrested following a search on suspicion of murdering a 47-year-old school teacher from Northumberland. A 15-year-old boy was also injured in the incident but has now been discharged from hospital. Sir Alex Allen has resigned his role as Prime Minister Boris Johnson's advisor on ministerial code after the PM backed Home Secretary Priti Patel over bullying accusations which were uncovered by Mr Allen. Home Secretary Ms Patel has apologised over the accusations despite ministers calling for her to resign her position. Former Prime Ministers David Cameron and Tony Blair disapprove of planned budget cuts in foreign aid. The UK are leaders in foreign aid and with the cut implemented would still be seen as one of the most generous. The cuts were suggested as a way to recoup losses caused by COVID-19 and the welfare provided to the nation by the UK government. Both Cameron and Blair warn against it as it would undermine the UK's G7 presidency and they believe it would cost many lives overseas. All our stories are sourced from BBC News. This is Real Talk Radio, Real Talk on Air. Back to the music now, and this is Pyro.
Y'all ain't ready for me, yeah, I've been a fucking beast. And I'm far from my peak. Shout out to Chewbacca Beats. Look, I said Prometheus glow, yeah, I brought my own flame. Godly, you can't stop me, not in my lane. Scared of failure, forever. Stuck in a cage, you put the lion in the cage. You take the beast about the animal, but I'm a free Leo when my bars is highly flammable. Eat these rappers alive, the hippie Hannibal, the California cannibal. Yo, this ain't understandable to people's minds, that ain't expandable. Autopilot, yeah, my mind work mechanical. I grab the mic and flow so organical. Photo, synthesis to a tree, in other words, Gandhi to a beat. Whack MCs can't really stand the heat. My energy comes from the sun, fire what I bleed. Music to me has gotta be like crack to a me. When I see the beat, it's like when Jerry sees cheese with no time in sight. Oh yep, it's finna be a feast. These beats I really eat, absorb them, then release with my vibes like yeet. Get your ankle broke trying to compete. You would think I was AI on the beat. I'm trying to pay a mortgage, not a lease, yeah? Y'all ain't ready for me, yeah, I've been a fucking beast and I'm far from my peak. Cut me open in this music shit I bleed. This ain't really for the weak, y'all ain't ready for me, yeah, I've been a fucking beast and I'm far from my peak. Cut me open in this music shit I bleed. Look, y'all ain't ready for me, yeah, I've been a fucking beast and I'm far from my peak. Cut me open in this music shit I bleed. Yo, this ain't for the weak, y'all ain't ready for me, yeah, I've been a fucking beast and I'm far from my peak. Cut me open in this music shit I bleed. I really bleed. Look, verse 2, nigga, watch how I do. I say you can learn a thing or two. How I maneuver, how I move, turn the pain into my groove. Complacent niggas spook like the stoop kid, afraid to leave it stoop. But I ain't scared to tell the truth. But if the pigs come, I always lie, fool. This ain't ATB or BIG, but give me the loot. Who is you? Why they rapping about guns that they never use? I'ma keep it smooth, like some loot. If you seen your op, bro, I bet you wouldn't shoot. Yo, I just blocked the busy, she was fucking up my mood. I'm homies with some nerds and I'm cool with some goons. If you fuck with me, I'ma fuck with you. But if Jorge don't like you, well, I don't like you too. If legit, tell me shoot, well you know what I'ma do. Me and Donnie go way back, we used to share food. Blast make me laugh with jokes about crack if I'm feeling blue. Seabass gon' cat, that's a fact, but I think he still love me and I love him too. True. Look, y'all ain't ready for me, yeah, I've been a fucking beast and I'm far from my peak. Cut me open in this music shit I bleed, yeah, this ain't for the weak, y'all ain't ready for me, yeah, I've been a fucking beast and I'm far from my peak. Cut me open in this music shit I bleed, yo, this ain't for the weak.
And there we have it, guys, another great song by another great artist of the Real Talk Radio family. An awesome beat and a great vibe too. I suggest you give it a listen. Now I want to move on and talk about confidence. It's really difficult to grow and sustain them, but one member of the Real Talk Radio family has been doing just that. I'm talking about Watty R. She arrived at Real Talk Radio as a singer who needed work, but as some of her examples have shown recently, and given the awesome feedback and encouragement she's received from Real Talk Radio, she's improving fantastically. Singing is a very difficult sound to create and sustain, especially with low confidence, but Wattie is growing in them daily with an improved voice too. We wish her the best of luck and hope one day to showcase her music here on Real Talk Radio, Real Talk on Air. We've got time for one more song now, guys. It's going to be a good one, and I want you to keep posting, keep working, and most importantly, keep it Real Talk Radio. This is Brian Smith with Real Talk on Air. I'll see you next week.
The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.